Hi, I'm REES, a UK producer and DJ, also running Paradiso Records. This is my Behind the Headphones for the Random Rave project. Probably because the problems that it's helped people with are quite translatable everywhere. It's always been political, and it's helped like people protection against transphobia or racism. You can find that everywhere in the globe, so it's kind of a community thing, especially in club culture where you could be in a room full of strangers, but it's like a safe place for everyone. Everyone's like so helpful, especially online, which has been so important for my personal music like growth. It's like a community of people where everyone's like bleeds electronic music, so everyone's willing to help each other. Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're starting out, it's like one of the most frustrating things, sending dead emails out that don't get even open probably, because they probably receive hundreds a day from people. So having your own platform there to just put out and control every aspect, from like the artwork, who masters it, it's invaluable. And places like Bandcamp alone, you just shot your music on there and put it out. So getting music out there is number one, and I feel like that helps going forward, just having music out to then get these other labels, and it's all part of building this bigger picture and growing over 5 years, saying, oh, I've done this and this, instead of just trying to get on labels that's going to ignore you all the time or not the right label for you. I think that's important too, so you can be in total control of it. I think it's also helps the side that if one thing grows, so if the label grows, I get new people through. So I noticed actually we're getting a lot of people listening in Russia, so they might find me through the label, and vice versa. People might grow to listen to my music and then find the label, so it's kind of like helps bounce off each other that way too. Sending emails out, that sort of thing. Feel like the constant, you're working at like a high rate to like push yourself and better yourself. So when it's falling on deaf ears, can be quite demoralising sometimes. Just constantly sending them emails that are getting nowhere, and a lot of your hard work isn't going to actually pay off for another like 2 years or something. So not seeing the immediate payback of something like that, that can be quite challenging. But it's all about learning that it's like progress. It's a long story. It won't happen overnight. You're not going to get like 1 million views in a few months. It's about painting that picture for in a year or 2 years time. Probably that America tour 2 years ago. That was pretty surreal, just like being in New York in the summer and then playing in Brooklyn. But probably New Orleans was like a bit mad, because we played in this, I think it was like a punk bar originally, called The Dark Goat or something. But the owner was absolutely mashed on whiskey. I think he just woke up from a nap out the back, and then he was like, oh, he started cracking on with me. And he took me out the back and just pulling out all his shotguns and just handing me them. He made me get a photo in front of his like maybe his local hockey team's flag, in the middle of this nightclub. That was a bit bizarre, but yeah, that whole summer was magic. Yeah, I mean, probably, like everyone, I probably went through a phase of liking every single type of music. But the thing that's always been there is that kind of synth pop, new wave style of stuff. So I've been listening to people like OMD, like Duran Duran, all them people since the last 10 years. So I can see that like perfectly now in the music that I've chose to venture down, that it's like it resonates from what I was listening to when I was 12, 13. That decade of music was so important, and it was timeless really. I'd probably say it's equally as important to discover music like 30 or 40 years ago that as to push the boundaries now. I mean, there's so much music to discover from that era. Like, there's stuff coming out all the time. I mean, for the physical records, they were so easy to produce then. Like, it was not now where it's a digital era where you could have thousands of releases going up now and lots get lost. But it was the same for then. Like, if you look in these dollar bill record bins, like, so much gold there to find. So I think that's really important. So you can learn a lot from that type of music. Yeah, especially over the past year when obviously clubs have been shut down. I've took a lot more inspiration from like digging records. Obviously, again, that's been online mostly, but just finding new records, buying bundles and stuff on eBay, like for a pack of 100 records, just sipping through someone else's collection. I found, obviously this year and last year has been the year of DJ mixes and radio shows, so I found like I took a lot more from that than I have done in the past, because probably it's been my only option to listen to like dance music like that. Personally, like releasing on some of my favourite labels, not even for the like exposure side of more people listen to music. I mean, speaking as someone who loves like records, it's quite a personal thing to be signed to a label that I've been obsessing over for 5 years, so that'd be kind of a big deal. But again, like, see of radio shows, so getting on radio shows that I listen to is a similar feeling. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm seeing more and more music nowadays that just keeps pushing the boundaries and really forward thinking. Same with labels, there's a lot more people pushing UK talent, I think probably because of the lockdown, so you can't get these artists flying in from left, right and centre. So I'm seeing a lot of the big platforms support UK based artists, and especially upcoming UK based artists, so that support is going to pay off massively in helping people grow and like being in that creative process. And again, the lockdown, you can draw benefits from it, so people won't be making straight up club music, they'll be making home listening music, and I think them worlds will collide, so you'll get a fresh sound from that. Sahar, who I mentioned earlier, he's a big talent. I can see him racing and doing a lot of big things in the next few years, especially when we're out of lockdown. Midnight People, it's a really cool label run by the Real Escobar. He's doing some really good stuff with that this year, releasing some big stuff. Remy Wanless, he's someone to keep your eye on. He's released on Midnight People. He's got a release of us coming on Paradiso, so there's so much excitement coming out of that group and the UK. Find something that's unique to this lockdown that you can take a positive out of. So for me, it was listening to more DJ sets, and how I'd go about that was, obviously I'd used to take my inspiration from going to clubs, but I found that when I was listening to more mixes and radio shows, because I'm missing clubs so much, I would kind of imagine how the crowd or people would dance and what they would draw from that night or that music. So thinking about that is, I've kind of made the same experience for me for going into my own music and being motivated to make something that I believe that they would dance to or react to that way. So just find something unique to this lockdown and try and use it to your advantage.